You are trapped in a medical industrial illusion. Every single day, you are bombarded with ads for expensive supplements, synthetic anti-aging creams, and grueling fitness regimens. You are told this is the only way to fight back against the realities of growing older. But look around. Despite all the high-tech promises, the modern reality of aging after 60 is still defined by stiff joints, persistent cognitive fog, and a constant, low-grade chronic inflammation. This happens because you are living a sterile, indoor life, completely cut off from the biological rhythms that actually sustain human cells. The idea that you need high-tech interventions or intense physical strain to reverse cellular decay is a blatant lie. This frantic pursuit of staying young is doing the exact opposite. It spikes your cortisol levels and speeds up the shortening of your telomeres, accelerating the very aging process you are trying to stop. Modern wellness has turned health into a stressful chore. True cellular renewal does not require you to fight your body. It requires a complete paradigm shift, a return to low-friction biology where small, daily interactions with the natural world trigger cellular cleanup automatically. In places like Okinawa and Kyoto, elders do not run on treadmills or swallow dozens of synthetic pills. Instead, they practice a centuries-old system of microgardening rituals. These are not hobbies. They are precise, effortless biological interventions that have kept these regions at the top of global longevity charts for generations. By engaging in small, intentional acts with soil and plants, they trigger a biological process that cleans out damaged cells and reduces inflammation. Do not skip ahead, because ritual number 7 is the exact reason your current morning routine is actually accelerating your cellular decay, and it requires you to do something completely counterintuitive with your bare hands. Modern architecture is a sensory deprivation chamber. Your eyes spend all day jumping between a phone screen, a television, and a drywall boundary just 10 feet away. This artificial, closed-in reality tricks your brain into a state of subconscious confinement, causing a slow, steady rise in your baseline blood pressure. The Japanese masters defeated this through a spatial philosophy called shakiai, which translates to borrowing scenery. They designed tiny garden plots to deliberately frame the most distant horizon, bringing the infinite expanse of nature directly into their immediate vision. This simple visual trick completely disrupts modern optical fatigue. By spending just 5 minutes every single morning looking past your immediate indoor plants and focusing entirely on the furthest visible object on the horizon, you instantly reset your ocular muscles and lower autonomic nervous system arousal that we have sterilized our lives to a dangerous degree. The modern obsession with antibacterial soaps and plastic gardening gloves has isolated your body from the very organisms that built the human immune system. This hyperclean lifestyle leaves the aging body vulnerable to chronic, systemic gut inflammation, which is a primary driver of cellular decay. The antidote is Tsuchi-Muri, a practice of deliberate, bare-skinned contact with living, organic earth. True, healthy soil contains a specific, harmless bacterium called Mycobacterium vaccae. When you touch it with your bare skin, it mirrors the exact chemical pathways of antidepressant medications. To execute this today, abandon the gloves. Knead raw garden soil with your bare fingers for just 2 minutes before washing your hands. This tiny, effortless contact inoculates your microbiome and triggers a massive surge of cellular serotonin. Modern life demands constant multitasking, forcing your brain to process a non-stop flood of digital notifications, news alerts, and artificial tasks. This mental scattering causes severe neural fatigue and accelerates cognitive decline as you age. The practice of Bonsai-Do counters this mental fragmentation through the deliberate, slow clipping of unnecessary growth to preserve the vital core of a plant. When you prune, you are forcing your brain into a state of hyper-focused stillness. It is a form of active meditation that shuts down the stressful background noise of your mind. Do not make this complicated. Take a pair of small shears, select a single plant, and trim exactly 3 dead leaves or overgrown twigs today. Focus your entire visual and physical attention on the absolute precision of each cut, allowing your brain to recover its natural cognitive focus. We live in an era of overcomfort. We eat before we are hungry, drink before we are thirsty, and keep our indoor temperatures perfectly static. This constant pampering makes human cells incredibly lazy and highly inefficient, stopping the natural recycling process that keeps tissues young. In microgardening, the ritual of Mizu-Kiri involves intentionally withholding water from a plant for a brief, specific window. This controlled stress forces the plant's roots to grow deeper, tougher, and more resilient in search of sustenance. You can apply this exact biological concept of beneficial stress to your own daily routine. Before you allow yourself to consume your morning coffee, tea, or breakfast, you must tend to your plants first. This simple act delays your immediate gratification, sending a biological signal to your cells that they must remain sharp, efficient, and disciplined. Traditional fitness culture insists that you need high-impact, joint-jarring workouts to stay healthy after 60. But forcing aging joints through intense, repetitive strain often leads to injury and chronic pain, which spikes cortisol and speeds up biological aging. The low-impact alternative is Karesansui, the traditional art of raking fluid, wave-like patterns into gravel, sand, or fine soil. This movement does not rely on brute force. It requires a delicate, coordinated rhythm flowing entirely from your core and wrists. It replaces frantic physical exertion with a soothing, hypnotic physical geometry. To apply this, take a small hand rake and smooth out a simple 2-foot patch of soil or sand in your yard or a desktop tray every afternoon. This gentle, flowing movement preserves joint mobility while instantly calming a racing heart. The modern relationship with daylight is completely broken. People either lock themselves indoors away from the sun, leading to severe vitamin D deficiencies, or they bake themselves in direct, harsh midday sunlight, causing massive oxidative damage to their skin cells. The Japanese concept of Komorebi refers specifically to the dappled, fragmented light that filters gently through the leaves of trees. This natural filtration blocks the most damaging, intense wavelengths of ultraviolet radiation while still allowing beneficial, mood-boosting light spectrums to reach your body. Instead of hiding indoors or overexposing your skin, find a leafy canopy during the post-lunch energy dip. Sit quietly in this filtered light for just 10 minutes. This simple practice safely resets your circadian rhythm and boosts your energy without subjecting your cells to solar stress. Most people start their day in a perfectly temperature-controlled capsule. You wake up in a warm bed, step onto a heated floor, and immediately insulate yourself from the raw environment outside. This complete isolation from natural thermal shifts makes your peripheral circulation sluggish and contributes to vascular aging. This brings us back to the loop we opened earlier, the ancient ritual of Asatsuyu touch. At dawn, broad plant leaves collect a pure, highly concentrated layer of cold morning dew. The ritual requires you to walk out to your plants first thing in the morning and firmly press the bare palms of your hands directly against these dew-covered leaves. The sudden, natural cold shock instantly stimulates your peripheral capillaries, fires up your nervous system, and forces an immediate burst of natural alertness that artificial stimulants can never replicate. The age-related decline often shows up first as a loss of spatial awareness, fine motor control, and rapid visual judgment. Standard brain training apps try to fix this digitally, but staring at a glowing screen does nothing to help your physical body navigate the real world. The structural art of Ikebana uses the physical arrangement of cut stems to force intense spatial reasoning. Every arrangement must strictly balance 3 distinct lines representing heaven, man, and earth. The process requires your eyes, hands, and brain to work in perfect, 3-dimensional alignment. Every Sunday, take just 3 simple elements from your garden: a single branch, 1 flower, and 1 green leaf. Arrange them in a small vase using these strict, asymmetrical angles. This brief physical puzzle keeps your spatial cognitive neural pathways incredibly sharp. Modern wellness culture is obsessed with sudden, aggressive lifestyle overhauls. People decide to completely change their diet or start intense exercise routines overnight, shocking their cardiovascular system and causing immediate burnout. The Japanese botanical practice of nemawashi is the exact opposite. It is the slow, meticulous process of wrapping, pruning, and preparing a plant's root system over weeks or months long before it is actually moved to new soil. It respects the shock of transition. You must apply this concept to your own physical habits to prevent overwhelming your biology. Spend 5 minutes planning exactly where a new seasonal herb or plant will go weeks before you actually buy it. Visually mapping out the future changes your brain's forward planning pathways, preparing your mind and body for smooth, stress-free adaptation. The deep-seated psychological anxiety of fighting the aging process is a massive source of silent, cellular stress. The desperate, multi-billion-dollar quest for cosmetic perfection creates a state of constant internal rejection, which floods your bloodstream with inflammatory chemicals. The final, overarching rule of microgardening is Wabi-Sabi, the profound philosophy of finding beauty in imperfection, weathering, and natural decay. In a Japanese garden, an old, cracked, moss-covered stone is valued far higher than a pristine, polished marble block. To ground yourself in this mindset, intentionally place or leave one cracked pot or weathered, rough stone completely untouched in your garden space. Let this object serve as a daily visual anchor. It reminds your subconscious mind that aging is not a process of decline, but a beautiful accumulation of texture and resilience. These 10 microgardening rituals are not a list of mundane backyard chores. They form a precise biological blueprint for complete cellular recalibration. You are not just growing plants or tending to soil, you are actively altering your epigenetic expression by restructuring your daily environment. True longevity is never achieved by buying into high-tech corporate illusions or fighting your own biology with grueling routines. It is achieved by stepping back into the low-friction rhythms of the natural world. Aging after 60 is not an inevitable slide into decay. It is an opportunity to cultivate a refined, disciplined harmony that keeps your cells vibrant from the inside out. Do not exit this video and attempt to overhaul your entire morning routine by forcing all 10 of these habits into your life tomorrow. Taking on too much too fast will only trigger the exact cortisol spike and mental overwhelm we are trying to eliminate. Your cells adapt best to small, consistent signals. Look back over the list we just covered and select exactly one single ritual that naturally resonated with your current lifestyle. Commit to mastering that one effortless microaction every single day for the next 7 days before you even think about adding another. Leave a comment right now stating the exact number of the ritual you are choosing to start tomorrow morning so this community can hold you accountable to your choice. Subscribe to this channel immediately to systematically strip away the modern chaos, reclaim your environmental heritage, and rebuild your baseline biological discipline today.